What was your experience with um, Auroville as a community, and Matre Mandir as a space, and if you can share your entire Auroville journey, that'd be nice.
Well, yeah. So I first went there
One
again
thing,
on this.
there is a lot of misconception around Western travelers about stories about Auroville that they have heard from. So only, and a lot of people avoid Auroville. So when you share your actual experience there, it will definitely help others, who want to uh, explore it without any judgment, right? Like
Yeah, of
without
course.
having all these. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, give you my completely honest take on it. Actually, as somebody sort of very much on the outside of it, I have no invested interest in Auroville, and I'm not, I think the concepts behind Auroville, when you read about what the mother and Sri Aurobindo were trying to achieve, is really the kind of world that I want to live in. It's a world of community, it's a world of compassion, it's a world where people live together and come together and support each other, and in a very much a conscious community. And it really is like nowhere else. I mean, there's small pockets of conscious communities that I've come across around the world, and there's actually small pockets even in the UK of people living together like that, but it's very small. But Auroville is a city; it's big, and they do have lots of people that live there for a long time. I mean, I have mixed feelings. I don't think it would be the place that I would choose to live. I think it does have a little of a culty sort of vibe. It's quite strict. The organization for even just visiting is not straight. It's not so straightforward to get into the Mandir, which is this big gold. If you've seen pictures of it, it's the big gold dome. But it's worth the effort because, um, as I said, going inside is like nothing else I've experienced. And so I really admire the aspiration. I really love the fact that it's a community of people from all over the world, Indians as well as Westerners. I think they've had some problems, but we're humans. We have great aspirations, and then humans and ego, and things happen. So I wish them very well. I think I think it's still in process, isn't it? And
Mm,
I
mm.
think
Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see what happens in the future there. But if you're in the area, I would definitely recommend going. I just think it's such
yeah,
a
for sure, for sure.
interesting thing. Yeah, definitely.
You also said when you spoke last time that somehow you felt things work better. I mean, in a coherent way, better way in the South India compared to North India. For a first-time traveler from the UK, what do they need to know about North versus South if they're trying to decide? What should they be mentally prepared for?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I think yeah, it is different. And obviously, I mean, it's hard to talk about India as a country because to me it feels like a continent because it's so vast. I mean, the differences between the languages, the cultures, the geographical containers. You've got desert, you've got mountain, you've got ocean, all the things. I find in the south, I think the infrastructure is better in the south. So things like road networks are better, probably little bit easier for Westerners to navigate in regards to. It depends where you are. Like it's a Bangalore. I mean, big modern city. Starbucks on every corner. I mean, it feels very Western. I mean, I've got a good friend that lives in Bangalore, um, and so, but and I think up north does have that a bit as well. I mean, obviously Delhi's a very sort of modern city, but I think certainly the areas that I take my groups in the north, which is mainly in the Himalayan region, the roads can be quite challenging up there. Um, and it can be just a bit more difficult, and you don't have perhaps those sort of Western luxuries that you would maybe you don't want them. I mean, I think do we want Starbucks? I don't necessarily need Starbucks, but it's I think it's just a little bit more accessible down in the south. I think possibly the standard of accommodation is a little bit better in the south as well. I find generally. These are just general observations, but
Yeah, sure.
um, and I think it's really interesting to experience both. So